Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing Apple stock and exactly what I think will be happening over the next few weeks of trading time. Now, before we get into the technical analysis discussion here, I want to first mention that my price target for this stock is $180 to $200 a share, which we are very near to right now. But unfortunately, in this video, I will actually be explaining why I think Apple stock is headed downwards in the short term, back to around $150 a share. So although my long-term price target is around $200 a share, my short-term outlook on the stock is that we will be seeing a pullback here over the next few days. So to back this up, I have bought into a put contract for Apple stock, which you are seeing on screen right now, worth around $200. And at this moment, I'm up 30%, and I really do hope that we continue this run downwards into tomorrow. But of course, getting into the reasons why Apple stock I think will be pulling back into the next week, I do want to mention the graphic you are seeing on the screen right now. Now, this is a graphic showing what percentage of stocks on the Nasdaq closed above their 20 exponential moving average, or EMA, over the last few months. And what this means is that there is an amazing amount of strength in the market over the last few weeks, but unfortunately this can't continue forever, and this is a largely unsustainable amount of growth for the market. Even though we had selling off over the last few weeks, many stocks have been able to bounce back a little too quickly and are showing flashes of weakness or potential of selling off, which we might even be able to profit on. So stay until the end of the video if you do want to know exactly how to make some money. Now, getting straight into the reasons why I think Apple stock will be moving downwards violently here over the next few days, I want you guys to take a look at the chart pattern that I have drawn out. This is classically known as a head and shoulders pattern, and when this does develop on the chart, it usually means that a stock will be heading in the downwards direction. Now, as you can see, we are in the middle part of this pattern, so if I am right, this means that we will have another leg over here where the stock does rebound all the way up to $175 or $176 a share before we do come down to our final price at around $167. And I know in the intro I said $150, but that is ultimately the very worst case scenario if we do come back to test the support all the way from around in March, or even back in February when the market was feeling the pressure. So as always guys, this is a play where we have to keep our eye on the chart and whether or not this pattern fills out. But in the short term, as always, there is something that I want to show you as well, which we do need to keep an eye on, and it's very interesting in order to understand if this will be developing or not, and if Apple will be able to continue back to the upside and continue its rally past 170, 180, and be one of those small percentage of stocks in the Nasdaq that can continue moving to the upwards direction and stay above their exponential average. In order to give you a better understanding of what's going on and how to actually identify whether or not we are in this downtrend that I was talking about earlier, I want to zoom into the 5-minute chart. So what I did was click up here in the top left and switch it from 30 minutes to 5 minutes. So every single candle is now representing 5 minutes of time. And as you can see, this over here is what happened over the last 3 days when the momentum on Apple stock switched from being in the upwards direction now to the downwards direction, and potentially reflecting what could be happening over the next few weeks of trading. So what do we need to be watching for as investors in order to know this pattern is playing out? And honestly, what are the two things that could happen from here? So looking at the chart, you can see that we really are in a position to do one of two things. Either we will continue in this pattern up, down, all the way to our stopping point here before we make our second shoulder and continue downwards. That would be the head and shoulders pattern that I was showing you earlier. Or the second scenario will be that we break out of this pattern in one of two directions. Either we break to the upside and continue back to $180 a share, or tomorrow the market opens extremely red and we see a very hard drop on Apple stock all the way to $172 a share, from where it's very hard to recover. And I think that Apple stock will be seeing a stronger drop all the way to 168 before we can consider any sort of recovery attempt, for this name. So again guys, if we do see a strong sell-off tomorrow morning and a break of this pattern to the downside, if we don't see a recovery to the top of this pattern and a continuation of what we've been seeing, then ultimately this could reflect a new pattern happening with Apple stock, either good if it breaks to the upside or very, very bad if it breaks to the downside. But as always guys, I will continue keeping you updated. This is what we need to keep our eye on in order to continue profiting with this stock and making good trades. So please, if you enjoyed this video or if you learned something new, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. But as always, I hope all your trades are in the green.